and let's get going. So you might have a selection of weights, you might just have one that you use, but it is good to have a little bit of variety so you can mix it up a little bit. We're going to hold onto our weights straight away. So just have hold of them, a little bit of distance in the feet. I'm going to turn this light on as well. That helps a bit. So a little bit of distance in the feet. We're closing our eyes and just let the weights help you feel grounded. So as I've said many times, this is particularly a time of year that we feel like we're being pulled in many directions. We're juggling many things. We've got Christmas on top of it. So just feel that sense of grounding on your mat this morning. Those weights keeping you in balance. And let's take 2 abdominal breaths in. And one more. Keeping a slight bend in the knees, we're going to lower our weights into a forward fold. So come all the way down. Just let the head feel heavy. And then roll all of the way up. Bringing your weights onto your shoulders. And then stretching the arms long. Bringing your weights back down to your shoulders, back down to your hips. And then sending the body long on the right, pulling that left weight up. And then sending the body long on that left side, dropping down the left, pulling up the right. We're going to do that again, so coming back to centre, you drop down towards your mat. All of the way, let the head feel heavy. As you roll up, you keep that core pulled in, squeezing the glutes at the top, bringing your weights onto your shoulders, sending the arms long, dropping the arms back down, releasing the arms, sending the body right, that nice hip stretch, and then sending the body left. Let's do that one more time. So dropping down, slight bend in the knees, all of the way to your mat. Let the head go for a moment. And then keeping that neck in line as you pull your weights back up. Bringing the weights onto the shoulders, sending the arms long. If you're using particularly heavy weights, you can always do one at a time. And then bringing the weights back down, heading right and heading left. So now come to the top of your mat. If you're not already there, just send your weights down either side of you. Bring your feet together, coming into our mountain. We're going to inhale, reach up. We're going to exhale, fall down. With that long spine when you're ready, let's step back right and step back left, holding our plank. Georgina texted me yesterday and said, "You do love a plank." I was like, I do. So let's roll down to our mat. Let's breathe into our cobra and exhale into our down dog. We're going to squeeze that right leg back. We're going to inhale it into our chest. We're going to squeeze it back. Let's inhale it in. Take one more here. Squeeze that leg back and then inhale it in. Drop your right knee down to your mat. Come up for a moment. Squeeze the arms back. We want to make sure our shoulders feel warm and open. Just taking that pause. Release those hands, plant the hands back down, step it into your down dog, pushing back to those heels. We're going to squeeze our left leg back, ready to hug in that knee, and then send it long. Let's inhale in, exhale back. One more, inhale in, exhale long. Draw that knee back in, drop it down to your mat into pigeon, right leg back. Coming up onto those fingertips and then squeezing those arms back. Planting the hands, stepping it back into your down dog. We're rolling forwards into up dog, dropping those hips. Gaze is up. We're going to exhale back into that down dog. Let's inhale forwards. Let's exhale back. Let's do one more, dropping down. Exhaling back. Just send your legs wide on your mat, heels coming towards each other. Come down into your squat. We're going to move a little side to side, elbows into those inner legs. Holding, moving for a moment. Last breath here, just holding that pose, sitting back towards your heels. Plant those hands, roll the body up. Toes come back in, toes pointing forwards. Keep your left hand down to your mat or your block, right arm up. Drop that right hand down, left arm up. Both hands down to your mat. Let's take a walk down. So we head into our plank pose, hands under the shoulders. Let's lower all the way down to our mat. Let's roll it into our cobra and exhale back into our down dog. We're going to step, walk, jump, top of the mat, fold over the legs. From here, grab your weights, roll it all of the way up, squeezing at the top, and then roll it all of the way down. Just release your weights for a moment as you step back with your right knee, drop that right knee down. Grab your weight with your right hand. We're going to squeeze up into our bicep curl in our low lunge. So just making sure you have that bend in the front knee. Squeezing and releasing. Let's do 5. Let's do 4. Let's do 3. And 2. And last one here. Hold at the top. And that slow, slow release back down. Drop your weight, come back into your plank. Holding your plank here. Let's roll onto our left side, send that right arm up. Come back onto your right hand, roll onto your right, send your left arm up. Roll back onto your left hand, lower down to your mat. Breathe into your cobra and let's exhale into our down dog. We're going to squeeze that right leg back, ready to step it forward, top of the mat, into your high lunge now. You can always drop your knee if you need. We're going to grab hold of our weights, coming up into that high lunge. We start to send the chest towards the thigh. We have our weights in our hand and we squeeze them up. So we're putting weight into that right leg. We're feeling those muscles working in the right. And then we're squeezing up our arms, keeping that chest, that spine long. If it feels too much, you can stay in your high lunge and pull up that way. So maybe we can feel it quite a bit now in that right side. We've got 5. We've got 4. We've got 3. We've got 2. And last one here, pull it up. And that slow release down. Drop your weights. Frame that right foot, step it back to your plank. Let's lower down to our mat, roll into our cobra, and exhale, down dog. Walk in, step in, jump in, top of the mat, into that forward fold, grabbing hold of your weights as you roll yourself up, squeezing at the top, And then rolling yourself back down. Sending those weights to the ground as you step back with that left leg. Dropping the left knee down. Grabbing your weight with your left hand. Ready for that bicep curl. The other side. Make sure you're not putting pressure on that right knee. So you're squeezing it up. Releasing down. Really squeezing at the top, feeling that tension of the muscle. Make sure you're not dipping into your lower back. We've got 5 and 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Drop that weight back down. Frame that right foot. Let's step it back to our plank. This time as we roll onto our left hand, maybe we take our weight with our right and we hold it up in our side plank. You can always drop down to our knee if we need. We release that weight back down. We roll onto our right hand. And then maybe we take that weight with our left as we hold it up towards the ceiling. I think we're warming up. Drop that weight back down with control. Roll back onto both hands. Lower down to your mat. Let's roll up and sit back to the heels in child's pose. This time rolling forwards, keeping the elbows tight to the body. You're going to lower to your mat. You're going to push it back up. So it's a lower down to your mat and a push back up. And again. We've got 3 more. We've got 2. And we've got 1 more. Ready to sit back to those heels and lengthen the arms. Our upper body is working this morning. Down dog when you're ready. Pushing back into those heels. Let's squeeze that left leg up. Ready to step it forward. Top of the mat, grab our weights, make sure that left leg is planted, rolling up into our high lunge and bending into that left knee, pushing that right heel back. We're ready to come into a version of humble warrior, folding to that chest or folding to that thigh, and then squeezing our weights up. Just make sure we're not collapsing on that thigh. Our spine is long. Squeezing and releasing. We're going to do 5. We're going to do 4. And 3. 2. And 1. Release the weights down. We're going to step it straight in into a forward fold and hold. Rolling all of the way up. Palms together. Exhaling, heart center. Just send the hands up. Take a stretch over to the right. Come back to center and over to the left. Back to center. Release the arms. Grabbing your weights again. We're going to take a big step with our legs. We're going to turn out the toes. We're going to bend into the legs, into our goddess pose. Let's see if we can drop down a little, holding those weights. We're going to take that bend at the arms in our goddess. We can do this without weights as well. And we're going to squeeze our elbows in. Send our arms out. Squeezing in. Arms out. So there's lots going on. We're working our lower body. We're working our upper body. Finding balance. We've got 5 and 4 and 3, 2. I'm sure we can feel it. Last one. Send those hands back down. Squeeze those legs up. Turn those toes in. Weights either side. Drop right. Hold there. And drop left. Coming back to center. Step those feet in a little closer now so they're hip width apart. We're going to take a bend into our knees. We're going to lower down with our weights. And we're going to take a pulse. So I'm going to turn so you can see better. So you lower down and we're going to bend and pulse. Now you can go quite heavy here if you've got alternative weights. Bending and pulsing. We're going to come all the way down into our squat, still holding our weights. Don't drop them to the floor. And we're going to roll all of the way up and squeeze our weights to our hips. We're going to bend. We're going to come back down. We're going to pulse. Feeling that in the glutes. Making sure that lower back is long. We're not rounding the shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready for that squat all the way down, hovering the weights above our mat. Rolling all of the way back up, squeezing the weights in. We're going to do one more. So take that bend, take that pulse, bending, releasing a little. Should feel this in the thighs, the calf muscles, the glutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All of the way down. Squeeze all of the way up. And definitely warmer. Come back to just dropping right. And dropping left. Well done. Come back to center. Take the legs wide. Drop your weights all of the way down. We're going to come back to that left hand in the middle of our mat or onto a block. Stretch that right arm up. Send that right hand down to your mat. Stretch up with the left. Roll all the way down to your mat. Take a bend into the legs and then straighten. Take a bend and straighten. One more bend and straighten. Roll the body up. And just before we release, send those hands behind, squeeze them back. Inhale and exhale forwards, hands reaching up. Squeeze those shoulder blades open into the chest. 3, 2, and 4, 1. Drop your hands to your mat. Let's turn over towards that left foot. Frame your left foot, swivel round on that knee. Step it back, last plank pose, I promise. Holding away from your mat. Spine long. We've got this, feeling powerful and strong under that full moon today. We're holding for 5, for 4, yes, I've slowed down, for 3, 2, and 1. Drop those knees, sit back to the heels. Nice long arms to stretch out that back. And then slowly, slowly bring your body back up. Just sitting back on the heels for a moment, send your hands behind you, plant the hands down, squeeze into those shoulders again, and maybe take that option of pushing up into the hips, squeezing down the hamstrings, the glutes, the thighs, quadriceps. And then lowering down to your mat. We haven't quite finished with our weights. We're going to sit down on our glutes. Take that bend into our knees and grab hold of one heavy weight. We're going to draw our knees up, ready for our Russian twist. If you prefer to cross the legs, that's okay, or if you prefer to keep them slightly down. Let's twist over to the right, turning the belly button to the right, coming to center, and then twisting over to the left. So just in your own time, taking that twist round, really engaging the core. It's hard for me to talk and move. Make sure you're using your breath. Keep the movement slow and controlled. We've got 2 more. Last one. Drop those legs down and just reach down your legs, sending the head down, releasing that lower back. You should be able to feel that warmth in the core area. We've fired up that solar plexus. We're going to keep hold of our weight as we roll down to our mat. All of the way, draw your knees in, just put your weight on the outside edge of your knees. Should feel quite nice, that lovely stretch. We're going to keep the knees in, bring the head up, send the legs and arms long, holding your weight, and then drawing the knees in. Now, if this doesn't feel okay with neck, you can drop your weight and you can do it without. So you're drawing in, sending everything long and drawing in. So you take that option of with a weight or without. So we've worked our obliques in our twists, and now we want to work our rectus abdominis, that muscle in the middle. Inhaling as you send everything long, exhaling as you squeeze in. 2 more. And last one. Hold that squeeze in, drop your head. If you're still holding your weight, you can put it back on the outside edge of those knees as you squeeze in, maybe a little roll side to side. Release your weight. Take it away, arms alongside you. Roll up the hips into a gentle bridge. Hold and squeeze. Exhale, roll all of the way down. Heels up to the ceiling. Last pose here. Arms stay where they are. We lower the heels. We hover above our mat. We inhale the legs long, reaching back up to the ceiling. We exhale and we hover. Inhale up. Exhale down. And again, inhale. Exhale. Let's do 5. Exhaling down. Let's do 4. Keep those legs together. Dropping those heels. Let's do 3. Heels down. Coming back up for 2. Dropping heels. Coming back up for 1. Dropping the heels, hover, maybe bring up the head and the hands. Take that pause. And release down to your mat. Take a bend into the legs, bring your hands under your head. Let's drop our knees to the right. Maybe picking up that right heel onto the outer edge of the left knee. Lovely release down the core, the spine, the side body. Well done. You worked very hard today. Might be cold outside, but we're feeling warm and good. Let's roll it back to center, taking that twist the opposite way. Again, that option of making it a little stronger with that heel on the outer edge of the knee. Come back to center, release into your Shavasana for the last few breaths. Letting everything go. And just absorbing in this full moon. Taking in that energy. That perfect time to release, to manifest and to reflect as we come to the end of another year. Being proud of who we are and all that we achieve. And feeling that love within, that unconditional love. Loving ourselves exactly as we are, with no conditions. When you're ready, take that last squeeze in. Allowing the body to slowly roll back up. your hands to your heart. Thank yourself for your practice getting on your mat, and let's bow to Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you.